Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. As many of you know, I've been away for a couple of days. Here's where I've been, the southern coast of Spain, near Gibraltar. A little town called Tarifa. Just a little, as you can see here, as we zoom in, just a little point there, as we see, just left of Gibraltar, Tarifa. On the southern coast of Spain, it's in the province of Cadiz. And yeah, it's right on the southern coast, maybe the most southern point there is in Spain. You can see Morocco on a clear day. It looks very close indeed, to be honest. You can get ferries over there when the weather is calm in the Strait of Gibraltar. So yeah, it's a very old town, old Spanish town, a lot of history, castles, and probably been there thousands of years. It's obviously been the most southern point. It's a very good lookout point of the Strait of Gibraltar. And yeah, I flew in from Malaga airport, just in the top right there. It's about a 2-hour drive to Tarifa from Malaga, which is in the Costa del Sol, Malaga. The Costa de la Luz, I think, is where Tarifa is. This is Tarifa Beach, as we can see here. A beautiful beach, very popular with windsurfers and wind sports. Probably the wind coming straight off the Atlantic. Many a beach bar, as we see here. Here is one on the right. There's a couple of beach bars. It reminded me of Australia in a way. Not that I've ever been to Australia, so I don't know where I'm getting that comparison from in the first place. But yeah, it reminded me of Australia, and just sort of the beach bars and people were surfing, the sort of surf culture as well. You had a mix of people, to be honest, and you had young'uns there with surfboards, obviously doing the surfing and the windsurfing, and all mixes of sort of older people, retired people, enjoying the sort of old style Spanish town, which it is, which will show you around, sort of small streets and tight alleyways. Lovely place. One thing I noticed, as I do notice in most countries other than England, all the shops were full. There was no empty shops, and it didn't look run down like England does whatsoever. It looked bright and colourful, and all the shops were full, and yeah, all the people were pleasant. It was a lovely little town. As you can see, a nice beach here, nice clouds. That's what proper clouds look like as well. So you can see Morocco just in the distance there. That's Morocco, just the mountain of Morocco, a big sailing ship. I'm not sure. I think it could take you about half an hour in a boat to get to Morocco. I don't think it's to that point, but yeah, I think that's the edge of Morocco. So yeah, take a nice walk now along the sort of the beach front. It's modern and old. Modern meets old in a way. The town, they've got the old sort of town with the shops in the centre, which is sort of old, and the church, a nice big church. I'll go into the church as well. At one point, I've also visited some Roman ruins. I went to Gibraltar for the day. So these are all different videos for a different day. And then Gibraltar surprised me, to be honest. It wasn't as I expected it would be. A bit bigger and busier, and not as English as I thought it was going to be, to be honest. But that's a video for another day. So yeah, this is the front, sort of the beach. The beach in the other direction. This is sort of the end of the beach in this direction, and it's not quite, to be honest. There is more, but in terms of its length, it spans for miles the other way. I'm not quite sure how many miles, but it could be 10 miles of golden sandy beach. Yeah, and maybe somebody in the comments can correct if it's not quite 10 miles, but or maybe more, to be honest. It's a long golden sandy beach, littered with hotels and beach bars. Very, very popular with surfers, as I've said, and I think in a moment there is some surfers just down here doing windsurfing in maybe a designated area. A bit of another beach bar here, a possible fish restaurant. Well, obviously by the fish side, I'm not sure, I didn't go in, but there is obviously this nice fish sculpture here as well. It's very good. It was very artistic, and it was very well done, to be honest. It was made of metal and more detail than you think. Nice castle there is the windsurfers, and Yeah, just a lovely place, a nice day as well. Obviously hotter than England was at the time. This is only on the early March. This could be sort of March the 3rd possibly, so it's still very early on in the year. There's the fish. Very well done, made of metal, looks very good to be honest. Nice nice sculpture, stroke ornament on the front here. As you see, some World War II bunkers here, still in situ, and a nice castle. I'll have to find out the history of that castle for you maybe. Yeah, just lovely little town, as I say. It's so Tarifa is a very old, thousands of years, little town or village. Because it's the most southern point of Spain, it's a very good lookout point over the Strait of Gibraltar and Morocco. So it's been inhabited for a very long time. It's been fought over by the Muslims and the Spanish for, not now, but back in the 10th century. The Islamist the conquest of southern Spain, and the city was fortified from that point on. It's got many castles. It's got two castles really. The one in the moment is the castle of Saint Catalina. There's the castle of de Guzman as well, which I go to visit in another video, and I'll tell you about de Guzman, just the story of him, and how he sacrificed his child to save the town, and he has statues in the town to commemorate him for his sacrifice. That's a video for another day, and I'll show you this castle also in the town. The castle pictured just there was the castle of Saint Catalina, and although it looks old, it was actually constructed in 1931 by a rich man. It's Castillo Santa Catalina. Is an observation tower. It was only constructed in 1931, but in the style of a 16th century castle. So it's not even 100 years old yet. Not quite. In 6 years it'll be 100 years old. The castle on top of the hill there on the shore. It does look old, but it's not even 100 years old yet. It's on a hill, a small hill of the same name, which gives the castle its name. The castle has a large, really out of proportion observation tower. It's a much loved symbol of Tarifa, to be honest. It does look old, it does look good, and you wouldn't guess from looking at it was only made in 1931, to be honest. It was just a defensive position built really for the Second World War, a more lookout for any activity, I would imagine, off the shores. So yeah, it was fortified during the Second World War. We see the bunkers below that we've seen, 3 bunkers, and yeah, it was a lookout point really. It's not really like a castle like de Guzman's is in the town that's hundreds of years old. It does kind of look that way, but it isn't. It's a fairly modern castle. Yes, we take a walk around the sort of docks port area now. It sweeps round to the left, and there is an actual port, ferry port there, with a customs office and everything from people coming over from Morocco or various places. Obviously quite a lot of drugs are busted in this area of the customs as people try to bring them through. Yeah, it's one of the main ways to come over to Spain from Morocco, and it has a large port, especially large for the size of the town, to be honest, and a nice marina with a lot of nice boats in there as well. And yeah, that in the distance there's a statue of Jesus, a big statue of Jesus on the pier. Here's another statue. This is the port area, just a nice piece of modern artwork here. Some cogs, kingdom for the cogs. Yeah, nice little lovely street. This is one of the front streets, quiet at this time of year. Up there, that's a pool, a swimming pool of a spa hotel. It's got a swimming pool on the roof, and as you can see the edge of the swimming pool. No one in it at the moment. But again, only the early start of March here. It gets very, very busy in July and August, I've been told. Yeah, that's the pool. So on the roof of the hotel spa here in Tarifa, on the front road. So it's looks a nice hotel, to be honest. I had a look at it myself in the brochure, and it does look a nice hotel. I'm not sure if it was open, to be honest, with it being the time of year. But yeah, if you ever fancied staying in the hotel spa, on the front there, right on the marina, right next to the exchange your money shop. Just in the distance there, we just seen, I'll cover it later in the videos, a good shop of a man who he collects things off the beach. I'll come back to that. That's Morocco in the distance, very clear. You can see it there, Morocco's mountain, one of the pillars of Hercules. That's de Guzman's castle. I'll visit in a later video. Interesting castle and history there. And this is the main sort of roundabout street. Just with a sort of square to the just over in the distance there, just sort of around the corners, the main square of the town. A couple of bars and restaurants on there. A nice pizzeria I went to, often where there's a statue there. That's de Guzman, whose castle it is. Here's another statue outside the castle. El Chanso El Bravo, somewhere in Spanish. Castle and a lion. Sorry, man and a lion. It's a very interesting shop. This is the man who makes things out of things he finds on the beach, everything he finds on the beach. So he's doing a double job really. He's making artwork, and at the same time he's cleaning up the beaches as well. I do have an interview with him in a moment where I speak to him. He'll speak to the camera and tell us what he does. But yeah, just a lot of interesting things in here. Anything you could find on the beach, to be honest, anything that would wash up. There was a massive whalebone, I think I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, and he constructs a lot of the stuff out of the iron. He tells you the process in a moment. Just various driftwood, big bits of driftwood. As you can see, various things you fish out of the sea. Somebody in Spanish.
Nos vemos, vamos a tomar café ¿no? Yo paso acá. Sí, ya, pues paso los próximos días.
Jueves, temporal Va, venga, luego.
Hasta luego, gracias. I wanted to ask, speak English because he's if he can film you because he wants
Yeah, it's an interesting shop you've got here. It's all stuff you found on the beach.
Yeah, we have an ancient way from the Romans in this town. Like you can see what is there put on to catch the big tuna fish. It's called the almadraba. And in this technique from fishing the tuna, they use over 1,200 big old anchors to hold it all down. And the anchors in the winter time are piled up here on 3 ports. And I beat them with an axe and I take out all the metal and the rust I can get from these old anchors. That's my prime material. And with this, I create sculptures like this little auger. These are millions of pieces brought back together with chemics and acids. I do this all by hand. That means every piece comes out in a different way. And then on the other side, and that's even more important, all the material I use, everything you see in here is recovered from the ocean. And that means that since over 18 years now, I organize every winter big ocean cleanups, beach cleanups here in the Strait of Gibraltar or on the coast of Lights, with a lot of voluntary work where all the bad stuff, the plastic, the things that don't belong into the ocean, what sadly is a lot, and we're not talking anymore about kilos, now it's tons and tons of plastic is coming out after every rainfall or big storms. This all goes into the bins. Treasures under my eyes I can convert into ocean art goes with me, and I do 100% ocean recycling art.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, I know that I'm quite different and definitely far, far away from being IKEA or a Chinese shop.
Somebody in Spanish there as usual. Don't speak the lingo obviously. Nice bit of artwork though, nice bit of graffiti and paint work, and often a lot of spots you go in Spain, even it seems every blank surface in Spain they attempt to spray paint it, to be honest. Yeah, some of it better than others, but even just when you're driving along the highways and stuff, just every side banner sort of things has got the opportunity to spray paint on. Somebody's spray painted the name on it. Usually not bad. Nice little shop here. Lots of little shops, lovely little shops selling everything you can imagine, to be honest. A lot of them hidden away. That's the thing. You have to explore the sort of streets of the little village town. These sort of winding streets. This is a little social club. Very old. Don't know how many hundreds of years this has been here, but a very old social club. A bit like we have in England, but completely different to the style we have. Yeah, and just nice little alleyways and shops, as you know, artwork, clothes shops, shoe shops, leather shops, you name it, shops of all kinds. So yeah, this is just, it reminded me a lot of Italy. I've never been to Italy either, so I'll keep making these comparisons to places even though I've never been to them. Just from what I've seen of Italy, sort of tight little streets and things, although little villages in Spain are similar. Yeah, it was just a lovely little town, to be honest, and there's the shops and bars. There's good that sort of nightlife scene as well. That comes alive sort of 6-7 o'clock at night, like this place here, closed in the daytime. But yeah, and just hidden away, a lot of stuff hidden away down the little streets, businesses, you name it. So yeah, that's sort of, well, it's the lovely little town of Tarifa, sort of the dock area, the beach, the sort of port dock area, and inside sort of the village area as well. There is more to it, a lot more to it, to be honest. There's sort of the new streets as you come in. They've got Burger Kings and things like that as well in the new area. And they've got a little as well supermarket up the top, and this is sort of the new area on the outskirts of the town. Then you come down into the sort of the front, and this is sort of the area at the front, and the old sort of town with the old Spanish sort of houses in tight situ. And yeah, it's lovely, as I say, shops of all kinds, all full, no empty shops like you see in Britain. And yeah, just if you fancied a quaint little holiday to a Spanish town, Tarifa on the southern coast of Spain, very nice indeed. And yeah, enjoyed myself, and may go back. It's apparently very busy in summer though, and the locals don't particularly like it sort of July, August time when the schools are on holidays. Very busy indeed, but if you go sort of earlier in the year, you might catch it like I did, and it's quiet and nice, and it's still busy enough. That's the thing, it's still busy enough. There's still people about. I met an American lad in one bar, a surfer guy, and he was obviously over on holiday. Well, he was supposed to be with his fiancée, but she broke her leg and he had to come on his own. And he come on his own, and he's a windsurfer, and he was there for a couple of days, and I got talking to him in a bar one night when the Man United match was on. So yeah, there's people of all ages, and I think he was about, I think he said he was 29, I think. So there's people of all ages, even couples as well, with it being sort of a quiet Spanish village. And yeah, it was just really good, to be honest. I've got more videos. I've got, well, as I said, one of our Roman ruins I went to. I've got the husband's castle, which is in, I'll do maybe another 1 or 2 videos of Tarifa, the actual town itself with the castle, maybe the church as well. And then I've got some Roman ruins. I went to Gibraltar for the day as well, so I'll maybe do 4 or 5 videos off this Tarifa stuff. So yeah, it's Really nice little place. I'd recommend it to anybody. Wasn't really expensive or anything in any way that I've noticed. I wouldn't say it was massively cheap, but I wouldn't say it was expensive either. It depends where you go, obviously. If you go in sort of the tourist bars and cafes and things like that, it might be slightly more expensive. I've seen vegan restaurants there, there's pizzerias, you name it, little bars. And I said I watched the Man United match in one bar, so they do English football on as well there. So yeah, it's lovely little spot. It'd be good to go, maybe people as couples. I wouldn't say it's got nightclubs as well. There was a nightclub. I don't think it was open the time I was there, but they do have nightclubs in in these actual streets, the old town itself. So yeah, it's a really nice place. I would recommend it to anybody. Tarifa, Spain, southern coast, near Gibraltar. As I say, I'll make a few more videos with some more footage that I got while I was away. Peace.